Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think, in the words of Monty Python, time for something completely different. How many people here have cars and wish they were designed to do something a little bit more towards them? Anybody? All right, cool. We got a lot of people. Basically, it boils down to this. The world is controlled by these 6 companies. Toyota and Honda in Asia, Fiat and Volkswagen in Europe, and GM and Ford Motor Company here in the United States. So what does this mean for all of us? Well, unfortunately, it means that you, the consumer, suffers, the industry suffers, the designer suffers, and most importantly of all, the investor suffers. So why is this happening? Why is this even an issue? Well, if you look at cars like this, like Toyota Prius or the Altima, they all kind of look the same. Have you noticed? You can drive down a parking lot and see all these cars and you're like, well, I can't tell which car is which. If I just took all the badges off of them, well, they'd be the same car. That's actually pretty true, and it's in fact exactly true. They are all the same car. So, why does this matter? It's killing the industry, and the automotive industry is a cornerstone element of any economy in the world today. Everybody needs cars, everybody has cars, everybody wants cars. If nothing more, for the simple fact of, we just want to drive them so we can get from point A to point B. So, but why do they have to be bland? Why do our cars have to look like something that just came out of a cookie cutter? And we have cool cars now, kind of cool. The Chevy Impala, the Dodge Dart. They kind of, they look different. They look kind of edgy, but they're not quite there yet. They're still underneath the same car. We have cars like the Tesla S, a fully electric car, 90 mpge, 400 horsepower at the rear wheels, and it looks good. Yes, it's a little bit more of an expense. It's $60,000. But Tesla has proven that they can build a car that looks good. We have look at Chevy. We have the Corvette. We have the Viper. We have the Ferraris. They all look the same. Even our sports cars look the same. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, well, they all look the same because, they all have that aerodynamic shape. That's not true. We have the technology today to build a car that looks completely different. Even Ferrari has fallen prey to this. Their cars look the same. So why are we not making a design that's accountable to us, the consumer? Back in the day, look at that. The Cadillac, the Impala, the Challenger, 70s, 80s, back when aviation was a major driving force, we had cars that looked good, that you could drive down the road and you had a sense of style. And it's completely true. 45 years old, and I still look better than a Honda. And it's true. That Mustang, not a Mustang fan, Chevy guy, but that car looks better than any new car that I see today. I would drive one of those over any new car today, even if they get better gas mileage, because it has a sense of personality. It has a sense of style to it. It has something that says, this is me. This is a reflection of who I am. So how can we change this? What can we do to bring it back to the world where you have cars like the Rally Fighter, which is built here in Arizona, thank you very much, Local Motors. One of the things that I suggest is what they do is something called open source design, where you take a part, put it on the internet, and ask the general public, hey guys, I need this part designed. What happens? They get 50, 60 submissions. And instead of having to paying 8 or 9 engineers for 6 months of work to design a part that costs $8 million, we only need to pay one engineer $700,000 to look at these parts and make them work. And we can have cars like the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento behind me, where we now have concept cars that are not concepts anymore, they're reality. Another thing that we can do is we can start asking the consumer what they want. Instead of just building something, we can have cars that are tailored to the consumer. We can have cars that are built to what you want. You can go to a website now and you can build a car that, it's kind of like building a laptop, but it's not. You're still choosing from a section of choices that don't really mean anything. It's not you. It's not me. It's not any of us. It's just what some designer dreamed of. So what if we made it possible for cars like the Peugeot Onyx and the Renault Alpine to exist, where they're an expression of ourselves and they're pieces of art? What if we could bring art back to the world and bring an accountable design where you and I is the driving force? So my challenge for you is to design, to dream, to build, and to innovate, and to please help us drive into the new millennium. Thank you very much.